Hey, welcome back to A Faster Me. This is going to be the CBR number 5, and this is going to be the women's 4-5 race. So yeah, it's busy times. I'm on the mic solo tonight. Ellen's, out of town. So yeah, I had to run this one solo because we're getting really backed up on videos, and I got to get some out. So I think I'm backed up on about 4 videos right now. So I just wanted to get these out since it's the current week, and we can get to some of the ones that we're backed up on later. Yeah. So anyway, we're off. This is the first lap. This is a new configuration at CBR. Obviously, we've done both sides, both directions, and that's normal. Typically, you bounce or alternate back and forth from the Carson course and the Dominion course. Dominguez course going clockwise and counterclockwise. But this time they moved the start-finish line, which is usually on this street, but they moved it over to have an uphill finish on the incline over there, which would normally be between turn 3 and 4. And now that turns 3 and 4 have now become turns, 4 and 1 on that stretch. So that's Beth in front of Ellen right here, Erica in front of Beth, and that's Julia off to the left up there. So this is Julia's first race with us. We've been in conversation with her for a while now and seen her race, and she's hung out with us and stuff like that. So, through conversation, we decided to make it official and make it full time. So, Julia's our newest member now, and she does a great job too. Did a great job in this race, and she actually displayed just the person that she is and the personality that she has, because she really had a chance to win the race. She's going to be off in a solo break, and there was a little confusion with the signal that I was giving her, just the terminology that I was using, being that it's her first race with us. So she could have stayed away, and the team was slowing down the peloton for her. The break got really big. She was out by herself, and she thought that I wanted her to come back to help Audrey, who didn't need help. But because of that confusion, she thought I wanted her to come back. So she actually came back to the group, to help her teammates, and she did a great job. So, kind of a bummer that she had a good chance to win it, but, it worked out for us in the long run anyway. So, but yeah, just a great display of being a great teammate and not being selfish and coming back when she really had a chance to win, from the beginning, basically, almost from the gun with the solo break. All right, so this is lap 2 here. I was kind of running my mouth, just showing Julia some love that I didn't really describe the course or the difference in the course here. So Ellen goes on an attack right here. It's not a real attack. It was kind of short. Typically, if she wanted to really attack, you got to kind of extend that effort out a little bit, get your speed really up high, and just get a little boost. It was a good sneak attack, and obviously after just a kind of hot lap there. But, as you can see, she's putting in a good effort here, but it wasn't long enough to get the separation to start off with, so then she just shuts it down. So this turn here, this is actually turn 3 now, and this is the one that always has a little bump right there. A lot of people don't like it. But to be honest with you, we've raced this course enough now that it shouldn't be a big deal to anyone. It just kind of is what it is. It's not perfect surface, and you just got to be careful a little bit at the angle that you come into the turn. Basically just have your bike a little bit more upright. Don't try to pedal hard through there, and everything should work out fine, even though there's a little bump. So there's Jesse to our left there. I think Rebecca right in front of Jesse. And, this is Jesse's maybe Jesse's 6th race ever. She won at Rosina Ranch, super strong. I've been coaching her for the last couple months, and yeah, she's gotten so strong since she's been here. I remember her first ride, she can barely hang on in a zone 2 ride with us, and now she's definitely one of our strongest riders and pretty much one of our best climbers for sure. Not as strong on the flats and not really used to racing yet, but She's learning really fast, and she's already winning races and getting podiums. And definitely a great teammate too. And all of the girls on our team are definitely good teammates, and they will sacrifice for each other. They don't care who wins or anything like that. So Ellen almost drops herself here. She's been sick a couple weeks ago and kind of really got a setback, and then just with a lot of traveling and work and all that kind of stuff, that her training has taken a little hit. But she's all obviously strong, and the fitness doesn't necessarily go away that fast, but it does start to dwindle a little bit when you can't be consistent just from illness or work or whatever. And she's had a little bit of both lately. So yeah, this is kind of one of the fastest parts of the circuit here. It's slightly downhill, has a little bit of rough surface over here. Nothing too special, long as that kind of sewer cover has a couple cracks in it. But other than that, it's not too bad, and the surface is pretty good on this side of the course here. But actually, both CBR courses, the surface is normally pretty good. Has some blemishes here and there, but nothing too bad. So right now you got Erica, I believe, attacking or going for this preem, or she went for the preem on the last lap, and I think that's Julia up there now breaking away. Yeah, so right after Erica went for the preem and got the preem, I think Julia went around her, but she wasn't really trying to attack. But because Erica was tired from sprinting for the preem, she didn't jump on Julia's wheel like immediately. So Julia just kept going, and it ended up being a breakaway. Even though she wasn't initially trying to break away, but then once there was a gap, she just stayed on the gas and kind of pulled away. So I think Beth is trying to chase her now, and you can see it's strung out, so they're going pretty fast. I know it's only 19 miles per hour, but going uphill like this course is a little difficult sometimes. It sneaks up on you, and it's very windy this day too. You can see the temperature is kind of chilly. It wasn't as bad as we thought because it was a little chance of rain, but the wind did pick up, and it was a pretty stiff headwind on most of the course. I think it was a tailwind on the uphill section there, but right here it's a crosswind, and then it's kind of headwind the rest of the course, kind of like a head crosswind on the other side. So definitely it brings the speed down a little bit, but it also makes it hard to catch someone if there's not a coordinated effort. So yeah, Julia's already down at turn 2 now, just making turn 2 there, and that's a good good 10-second gap right now. And I believe at one point she had the gap all the way up to 40 plus seconds. And like I said, she really could have won solo. And I felt bad after because at first I thought she just blew up, but no, she misunderstood what I was saying. I was telling her to relax, but what I say when I'm saying relax and you have that big gap, I'm really saying don't blow yourself up. Just keep a steady rhythm, at threshold or so, and just ride that out nice and relaxed. Breathe is what I was trying to communicate. And when I was saying relax, she thought that I meant slow down. She thought that I meant relax, like the pace is too hot, like, slow down to kind of help. Because we always talk about multiple strategies, plan one, or plan A, plan B, plan C. And I think she thought that I wanted like plan B to be the main strategy, but it wasn't. Like I said, other than protecting like the championship, we don't really care who wins and who doesn't or who works for who. We do have a plan all the time, but if it works out to where someone else wins the race, that's beautiful. Everybody kind of has a chance at success to a degree. So I think that's Sandy to the right there. Endure had a good team out as well, had some good numbers. QRT had some good numbers. And then, of course, we had good numbers as well. I think all of us have 4 riders in the race. And that's pretty good. It was a decent-sized field. Not as big as some of the other races, but I believe they had just under 20 riders in the race. So you can see by the watts and the speed is up higher right now. They're really trying to chase Julia down now, but yeah, you really have to get coordinated and have a really good rotation to be able to chase down a strong rider in the breakaway. Jesse's doing a great job up there, uh, just kind of covering the moves. And like I said, Jesse's come a long way. Like, she understands the strategies. She's able to pull them off without like instruction. And this is, like I said, only her 6th race total. And really, I think maybe her 3rd crit, 4th crit, maybe. I think she's done 2, or a road race, a circuit race, and then a couple crits. Or a couple circuit races. Yeah, she did the circuit race at Tour de Marietta also. But yeah, very strong, really good endurance. Just getting better as a crit racer, really strong climber, and then just really good like student, trying to learn learn everything, and like I said, covering the moves without hesitation and without like much instruction. She knows exactly what to do. Yeah, Rebecca's really strong as well. She's I think this is her 1st year racing also, and she did really good at San Luis Rey, and that's one of the videos that I have backed up and still need to get out. But she did really good at San Luis Rey, and she won that race. So I think that was her 1st win of the season. And yeah, she's learning a lot also, and learning how to be a crit racer a little bit better. She did the Apex lesson with me also. So now I think Erica's done that lesson, Beth has done the lesson, Rebecca's done the lesson. So, I think it's kind of like a I don't know what to call it. It's something that everybody I should know those concepts. So again, if you're ever interested, it's no big deal. Come by the tent if I have time. I always have a whiteboard there. We can go over that lesson as well. And if you don't get anything from it, that's cool. It's just like putting tools in the toolbox. Sometimes there's a tool in your toolbox that you don't use for 30 years, and sometimes you'll never use it. But if you ever need it, it's available. So I think this is Sandy's attack here, and you can see by the watts, like that's Ellen's like highest watts on the day, and it's a really powerful attack. You can see she's just under 30 miles per hour here. Ellen's still doing 300 plus watts or close to it. And I remember, Ellen told me that the attack was like really hard. She really took off and got the pace up high. So yeah, she's really putting a dig in, trying to put a dent into into Julia's lead up there. But, again, like Jesse was kind of covering moves earlier, Ellen did a great job of covering this as well. And, I emphasize teamwork a lot, and it's really easier said than done. Number one, it's hard just to get people to work for their team. I hate to say it, but in cycling, everybody's a little bit selfish. Everybody wants the highest finish they can have, and sometimes that requires, conserving energy. But if you want to move up and have, good success, unless you're a sprinter, I mean, a really good sprinter, not just, oh, I can sprint. If you're a really good sprinter, sometimes you can have success, without a team, if you know how to surf wheels and all that kind of stuff. However, whenever there's a competent, talented team in the field, then it makes life really difficult for you. But if everyone's not willing to race as a team, as you move up, a decent sprinter that can surf wheels, hide pretty good, they can still have good success as long as there's not a dominant team in the race. So there goes a counter there. I think that might have been, I don't know if that was Ivory or not. One of the QRT riders went and countered here off of Sandy's attack, which is a great move. You can see the speed is high. And they're really trying to, run down Julia. But like I said, Julia kind of came back to them because she thought that I wanted her to slow down. And you can tell that was the case too, because when Julia comes back and gets into the peloton, she's just in the peloton. It's not like she was getting dropped or she blew up or anything. She just started racing again in the peloton with the group. So Audrey, shout out to Audrey as well. She did half Ironman the day before. So that's a 70 point whatever, 70.3 I think it is. So she did a half Ironman the day before and still came out and had some crit legs, good enough to get a good finish here. Just trying to keep points in the jersey. She doesn't need any points either. I think she has like a 60 point lead over second place. So the jersey's pretty much hers as long as she shows up on the last day. But yeah, doing that half Ironman obviously takes a lot out of you. So just kudos for her and Joshua for even coming today. And yeah, half Ironman, I don't know the exact distances, but something like I don't know if it's a 2-mile swim, then a 50-mile bike ride, and then a 13 point something mile run. So yeah, that's definitely a lot of stress on the body, a lot of fatigue, a lot of emotional stress. Just a lot of energy spent, and it's really hard to recover from. So, yep. So good job just getting out here, warming up the legs and competing. Yeah, you see Ellen's putting in some good watts here, but yeah, it's hard to hang on. It's hard to hang on to the peloton. This race was pretty spicy. So I think they may have caught Julia now too. And as they caught Julia, or as they catch Julia, I think right after that, Jesse and Rebecca then counter, and they both go on a break there. So now it's a 2-rider break up front. And you can see that, the peloton's working hard trying to run it down. It wasn't for lack of effort. They're running. They're working really hard, but it takes a lot out of them when they tried to catch Julia. So just all that energy that was spent trying to catch Julia, and then the counterattack, and it's like perfect timing. The counterattack by Jesse and Rebecca goes off, and now everybody's hurting. So they're still putting in the hard efforts. It's just the legs have a little less power in them now. There's a little less sting in these attacks, and now a lot of time people are just struggling to hold on. But like I said, it's spicy. It's a great effort, and I think a lot of the women really enjoyed this race. So I think Sandy's putting in a hard effort trying to get back to the 3 riders there, but I don't know if she has it in her or not, but I think her teammates should come around and pull, because Sandy's been pulling for a long time, and you don't want your teammate to blow up. So even though you're tired as well, sometimes you got to go around your teammate and give her a little relief for just even 5 seconds or so. Share the workload a little bit, kind of flick an elbow and hope one of the other girls will come through as well. But yeah, when one rider tries to pull for that long, it really takes a lot out of them. And as you can see now, you can see Sandy's kind of struggling to get up this hill, and some of the other riders should have helped her out a little bit. And obviously you don't have to, but it does help, because that's what happens at the lower levels a lot, is one rider will pull for an entire lap, and then they're tired and they're kind of useless after that. And instead of flicking an elbow earlier, getting the rotation going, everybody gets a couple second rest. All the women are in pretty good shape. So 20, 30 second breather, it goes a long way in saving energy, and it allows you to, kind of recover, recharge the battery a little bit, and put in another effort. And if you're doing 10-second pulls, I see at least four riders there. So if you do a 10-second pull, you're getting at least 30 seconds of rest. So 10-second effort, 30 seconds rest. That's a pretty good ratio. opposed to one rider pulling for almost 2 minutes. I think she was pulling for more than 2 minutes. And that takes a lot out of you. A VO2 effort in the middle of a race for 2 minutes can take a lot out of you. And as you can see, there's Sandy again going right back to the front to try to pull and close that gap to the 3 riders in front there. So she definitely can use a little help, but great effort by her of doing all this work. And of course, Ellen's teammates are in both of those breaks, so she's not going to help. I don't know if she can help right now, but yeah, she's not going to help anyway, just because Audrey's in that 3-person break right in front, and then Jesse's in the 2-rider break with Rebecca, at the very front of the race. Yeah, and once again, it's beautiful when the strategy works well. We pulled off really good strategy at San Luis Rey with Elisa winning that the pro race there. It was a small field, but the efforts are still the same, and she had good competition. And today we pulled off our strategy almost 100% perfect. Other than Julia coming back, like I said, but that's a good thing. She had a great chance to win, but it's, we'd rather her come back to help teammates than to get it wrong the other way, So Ellen knows this is going, so she tries to just bridge real quick, kind of like counterattack that group there. She was dying too, and there's Julia there. So like I said, Julia was off the front for a good 15 minutes on her own, and you can see she wasn't dead. She had a good chance to still get away. And as you can see now that Ellen kind of countered, her and Julia are kind of making the connection to this group. Not easily, but yeah, it's, they ran it down pretty good here. This group is now set up, which is what happens. Audrey was kind of just covering them the whole time. And I don't know, I think that might be Melanie and Erica up there that were kind of chasing. Or is that Ivory? I can't tell. But anyway, obviously they're going to try to chase and run down the break because they're not represented in it. It's just us and Endure that's in the break. So we're definitely not going to chase our teammates. So, it's just, it kind of gets demoralizing and it sucks. We've all been there where another team has had the numbers and pulled off the strategy, and it gets really frustrating. You have to really be on your game to be able to counter that. So then Julia goes to the front here just to control the pace a little bit. Like I said, we definitely don't want to chase our teammates. Yeah, I think that was Ivory up there working with Erica, trying to bring back the break, because I think that was Melanie just went to the right side over there. We're definitely down to only a few laps to go, maybe 3 laps to go. So now Jessica and, Jessie. I don't know why I keep saying Jessica. Jessie and Rebecca are they're clear now. They're not going to get caught. I can't remember what their gap was, but they're not going to get caught. I don't even know if you can see them on screen anymore, but yeah, it was pretty clear that they're both strong enough to stay away, that they weren't going to get caught. With 3 laps to go, it's just basically, which one's going to win, who's going to outsprint who's going to win the climber sprint. They're both pretty good climbers, and sprinting's not their strong point. But honestly, everyone should work on a sprint, because almost every race ends in a sprint, even if it's a group of climbers, even if it is a mountain or hilltop finish. Often you still have to outsprint the person that's with you or closest to you. Also, for those of you that don't know, I think Boulevard next week on the 10th is a road state championship. I think if you're Cat 3 and above, you can win a championship, a California championship. And I think sometimes if you're Cat 4, I think they allow you to race the Cat 3 if you want to contest the championship. It doesn't mean that you upgrade to a 3. You just sign up as a 3 and, put in the notes that you'd like to contest the championship. I think they used to let you do that. I don't know if they still do or not. All right, so we're going to be going into 2 laps to go, I think. Ellen's in much better position, but she's just eating a lot of wind. She is on the protected side, though. The wind's coming off the right here, kind of like a cross headwind. And then when they turn left here to go up the start-finish line, through part of the day, this was a pretty good tailwind here. There should be a big American flag. You can see it most of the day, but I don't know where it's at right now. I don't know if it's right at start-finish line or not, or if it's on one of the buildings. But, throughout the day, you can see it, and this was pretty much a tailwind most of the day going up the hill here. And yeah, there's the flag there. It's kind of stiff. I mean, yeah, it's not blowing right now in this section. So you see Julia, I had told her to jump in the draft. Julia's working her way back up to kind of lead out Audrey here. And that's why she came back. She thought I wanted her to come back to help in the lead out. I know I've said that a number of times, but honestly, it's a good problem to have that, it's probably my fault for the miscommunication, but it's a good problem to have that someone's so willing to help their team and they gave up a victory, basically, a solo victory to come back and work for a teammate. So Erica moves to the front here. So I think this is the last lap, actually. Because, yeah, Julia goes to the front to start the lead out. She was hoping that Audrey was on her wheel, and she kind of turned back and saw Erica. But it's too late for her to slow down, so she just keeps the pace going. She's trying to look back to see where Audrey's at. So, yeah, we typically don't want to look back. We want to just keep going because that, when she looks back, like, it's hard to hold your line straight when you're looking back. And when it's the last lap like this, you can see it causes like a little bit of chaos with people weaving a little bit. So even here, Julia starts her lead out really hard here. She does a great job of giving all her energy. But when she's trying to pull off now, Erica's trying to follow her because Erica doesn't realize that Julia's done. She's trying to pull off. And you see that little weave because Julia's trying to pull off and Erica's weaving, trying to stay in the draft. And then Audrey's trying to stay in the draft. And subsequently, they almost end up taking Sandy out a little bit. But, nothing intentional, just because they were trying to draft. And Julia was trying to pull off of the draft. She was done with her lead out. So Erica comes around Audrey right there. And, Erica has a really good sprint. Audrey's more of a long sprinter. And she kind of beats her here at the line by a couple bike lengths. And then Melanie has a really powerful sprint there. And I think she comes across in 5th place. Audrey got 4th. And Jessie ended up, edging out Rebecca in a sprint there. And they both did a great job. So great win for Jessie. And congratulations to Rebecca with her 2nd place finish, 2 podiums in a row. And Erica's on the podium like every weekend. So, more of the same there. She's super strong and has learned a lot as well. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll try to get some videos out pretty fast. I'll probably do the women's pro of this weekend first, and then we'll get into the San Luis Rey and the other Marietta race.